Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande Roth. We're looking at a wintry mix. We got some snow on the ground. We do. Look out for the ice, the sleet, the snow. We will change to all rain at a certain point in most spots and get up to about 40. So by 10, 11, 12 o'clock, we should get rid of the coating that you see and the danger of that ice on the road, hopefully, and then clearing. And then, this afternoon, it's over. So we should be good to go. But, it's that commute this morning. And if you're not out and about yet, be careful when you get out there. The roads could definitely be slippery. Want you to be safe out there. But it will get up to about 40. So that is good news for later on. Lots to get to, including this one, the happiest part of the day. All right, now I don't know how much they spent on this data. They analyzed, they got experts, they followed people for 2 years. 50,000 adults were tracked for 2 years. Someone should have paid me. We didn't even have to do the study, and I would have given you the same answer. Regardless of the day, a person wakes up in a good mood, and that is the best they're going to feel all day. What is the happiest part of the day? Right when you wake up. That is what the data showed. Now, it's a bit of a roller coaster after that. There's a big dip around 10:30 a.m., which makes sense, right? You already had your coffee and breakfast an hour or two ago at least. Now you're at work, and you're like, oh my God, it's only 10:30. Yeah, of course, you're dipping at that point. When is the next surge of happiness? Around 6 p.m., when you're home having dinner. I mean, we pay for these studies. I don't know who pays for these studies. Someone got paid to run this study. Then there's a downturn through the evening. The least happy time is midnight or whenever you go to bed, around the time you go to bed, yes. And there's some other obvious stuff. The happiest mornings are Saturdays and Sundays, and the people are mostly happier in summer months than winter months. They had to track 50,000 people for 2 years and pay professionals to run this whole study. Congrats on your findings. I would have done it, maybe not for free, but for a lot less than whatever you paid the people that you paid. All right. So family values now. All right. We're talking about getting up, going to sleep, and all the, feeling good throughout the day. What about the other part of the day? Dinner time. You got the family around the dinner table. What's happening? Well, 2/3 of us are now watching TV while eating dinner. That's been going downhill for a while. If you can even get the whole family around the dinner table, that's a challenge today also. But around 2/3 of Americans say they are now watching TV while eating dinner. 63% compared to 41% who talk to people they're actually eating with, which is nice. 1% of these people say they actually eat dinner while driving or on their commute because of what's going on in their world and their job and things like that. The poll found dinner is our favorite meal by far. I disagree on it. It depends. For me, it's always breakfast. But you give me something I really want. Like you give me a plate of sushi, or you give me something real, like a really good feel-good meal, a comfort food for dinner, maybe I'll put dinner over breakfast. And about 20% of Americans eat dinner in 10 minutes or less. Okay, yeah, listen, that's the way of the world. That's where we are right now. And last one for right now. And tomorrow we will give you our Super Bowl predictions. Tomorrow we will talk about our Super Bowl food, Cande and I. A poll of 3,000 Americans talked about their Super Bowl food, what states, all that stuff. Wings. Obviously, wings are number one. You would say, if you had to guess, what's the number one? It's wings. 31 states out of 50, and basically every state east of the Mississippi, wings was number one. Chips. 7 states. That comes in second. 7 states have nachos and chips as their number one, including Massachusetts, which is interesting. Now, we're all having chips. I understand. But I thought there'd be more wings going on in Massachusetts. You know, you got Boston and everything. It just feels like a wing kind of thing. But chips, 7 states, that's their number one Super Bowl food. Apparently, according to this, chips and nachos are different. Chips are just chips out of a bag with dip. Nachos are actual, you know, where you heat them up with the beans and the beef and the cheese. Because nachos are number 3 and the biggest in 5 states, including Rhode Island, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Maine, and Colorado. Coming in 4th, pizza. I've never really done pizza on Super Bowl Sunday. By the way, here's a tip. Moe's, you want to do... I'll talk about this tomorrow, but I'm getting Moe's for the Super Bowl always. They do an incredible catering. I get them for all the big events. But pizza is number 4. Number 5, I'm down with this. Cheese charcuterie boards. Absolutely. That is number 5 in 3 states, Iowa, Kansas, Montana. And get this, loaded potato skins, the number 1 Super Bowl food in Hawaii. Yeah, you know, maybe I'll go to Hawaii, watch the Super Bowl one day, or just order some potato skins. They'll be a lot cheaper. But, you know, as a kid, I haven't had them in a long time, but as a kid, used to get those loaded potato skins with the cheese and the bacon. Number 1 Super Bowl food in Hawaii. Plenty more to do. We've got your Bald and the Beautiful entertainment. That comes up about 8:12. Late 8 o'clock hour, National Day's Good News Stories. And I got to tell you this story about a judge who had to appear for jury duty and what that judge did. And it cost that judge a career. And one of the most idiotic things I've ever seen in my life. We will get to that. We have a wintry mix. There is some white stuff down on the ground. You also are going to get up to about 40 today, and it'll change to rain. But right now, very dicey on the road. Take it slow if you have to go out. Phathead and Cande, My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.